Hello and welcome back to another video on the Wrestle Debate and to another edition of AEW Out 10. This is an interesting one. Of course, the most incredible debut for CM Punk on Friday. But yeah, the card is looking okay. It's not looking amazing, but we can't have amazing cards every week. But yeah, still should be an interesting show. Of course, with CM Punk making an appearance. We started things off with Matt Hardy v Orange Cassidy. Hardy was doing his delete gesture while Orange Cassidy was doing one of his devastating kicks. The sequence ended with Matt Hardy stuffing his hand into his own pocket, taking out many dollar bills. Cassidy hit the back with a drop kick, and Matt Hardy rolled to the outside. He had Cassidy stretched against the ring post. Back in the ring, Hardy dominated, hitting Orange Cassidy with a powerbomb. Cassidy began his comeback with a crossbody from the top rope, followed by a DDT. Matt Hardy was busted open and bleeding from the nose at this point. Orange Cassidy went for a swanton bomb, but missed, and Hardy hit an elbow drop. Hardy then went into lock on the leech, but Orange Cassidy countered and got the 3 count off a pinning combination. I'm going to give it 6 out of 10. Yeah, it was an alright match to start off the show, and the right winner for me. So yeah, not too much to complain about, but not like exhilarating TV, but you wouldn't expect that. Jericho was out next, and he said that this is one of the biggest weeks in AEW, and the champion said that he had lost to MJF for the 3rd time and he was unhappy to tap out. The former AEW World Champion said he'd been losing sleep over it, and Jericho said all he wanted to do was beat MJF, and he challenged him to one more match at All Out, and that if he lost he would never wrestle again and he would do commentary full time. MJF's music here, he said his proposal was good, and he said even though forcing Chris Jericho to tap out was cool, ending the champion's career would be legendary, and accepted the proposal. Now this is interesting. I thought Jericho would just go away for a bit with Fozzy, but it seems like, I don't know if he'll come back as a heel or not. But yeah, I wasn't too sure on the match at first, but yeah, it's kind of growing on me. I'm kind of intrigued to see where this goes, to be honest. Next up was the Lucha Bros versus the Varsity Blondes in the semi-finals of the Tag Team Eliminator Tournament. The Young Bucks and the Entourage were watching on the ramp. Phoenix and Griff Garrison started the match off before Garrison caught Phoenix in mid-air early on, but the Luchador reversed it. He then showed off some incredible athleticism before tagging out. Brian Tillman Jr. was in no mood for Penta's mind games and caught him with 2 right hands. He then hit Hurricane Rana, but spent too long gesturing to the fans. Penta and Phoenix were in complete control as we headed to a commercial break. However, Phoenix continued to stay in control and hit Pillman Jr. with a super kick. He then dropped Garrison with a spinning kick before Pillman Jr. Hit a cutter to get back in control. The Lucha Brothers managed to get back in control by hitting a double super kick. Pillman used his power to get back into the match, hitting Phoenix with a huge power slam before Phoenix tagged out. Penta came in, and the Lucha Bros caught Pillman with a series of kicks, followed by a double super kick and a package power driver for the win. Jurassic Express joined the Lucha Bros after the match. The Young Bucks sneaked up on them and pushed them into Penta and Phoenix. Luchasaurus and Penta hit Magic with the running boots while they were up on the apron, causing them to crash into their entourage, which included the Good Brothers. Phoenix and Jungle Boy then hit Suicide Dives, taking everyone out. Yeah, this was good. A long segment, but a good segment, I would say. I'll give it 6 out of 10, just picking everyone over, and I can't wait for that match next week, I guess. Next up, though, was Jamie Hayter versus Red Velvet. Hayter was making her in-ring debut, of course, or return. Red Velvet hit a dropkick early, but it had barely any effect on Hayter, who continued to stomp away. Jamie then charged at Red Velvet, who caught her with a low bridge, forcing Hayter to crash into the ring. Red Velvet followed out with a couple of suicide dives, but briefly was distracted. Hayter then sent Red Velvet headfirst into the steel ring post to get in control. Velvet managed to hit back with a facebuster though, but once again, Hayter used a distraction to advantage and got the running lariat for the win. Chris Statlander hit the ring after the match to save Baker, Rebel and Hayter when they were unloading on Red Velvet. I'm going to give it 6 out of 10. Yeah, Statlander v Baker, kind of building up to that. For me, that makes sense on the pay-per-view, and for an in-ring return, it was perfectly fine. There was still dissension in the Dark Order as they spoke backstage. Reynolds blamed Uno for what happened to Hangman Page. Uno didn't take to this kindly and had a go at Reynolds. Reynolds told him he wasn't the leader of the Dark Order and walked off. And yeah, it looked like there could be a breakup coming soon, which I'm surprised about. But yeah, still interested to see where it goes. Before CM Punk was back in the AEW ring for an interview with Tony Schiavone, Tony asked CM Punk why he returned to wrestling. He said it was because of people like Penta, Phoenix, Jungle Boy, and of course Darby Allin. CM Punk added that he was no longer the voice of the voiceless because people now have voices. Punk added that when he saw Darby Allin, he was a guy who would have been the straight edge superstar's favourite wrestler, although Darby Allin didn't fit someone else's definition of pro wrestler. He had it all. The fans were then chanting yes, and CM Punk said you'll have to wait a while longer for that, hinting Daniel Bryan would join. And CM Punk said his match at All Out with Darby Allin wasn't about proving the haters wrong, it's about proving himself right. Punk then finished off by giving a shout out to his wife AJ Lee. This was a great segment. Increased attentiveness for Daniel Bryan's debut and put over the young stars. Yeah, this was a really good promo. And then hopefully soon, next week, I guess they'll start building more to the match with Darby. Jericho was casting a promo saying that he was wrong to say Fuego del Sol had taken the easy way into AEW when the original sinner Eddie Kingston had done, and said he would destroy him at Rampage before we then got Kingston in action with Moxley and Allen against the Wingman. Allen and Jake started things off when Allen avoided the big man's offense. Cesar Bononi then came in with Mox. Mox took Eddie down, Eddie's place with Bononi down. Back in the ring, JD and Eddie Kingston tagged in, and Eddie was in control before Pretty Peter Avalon pulled Darby's feet out of it. Ryan Nemeth then brought a steel chair in. However, Darby Allin managed to get back in control and hit JD Drake with a stunner, following it up with a coffin drop to win the match. After the match, Daniel Garcia attacked Darby Allin, while Sting, Mox and Kingston were busy at ringside backing off when they noticed. I'm going to give this 6 out of 10. Basically just an easy television win for the good guys. Keep them rocking ahead of their match later, matches at All Out. This was perfectly fine. Omega and Callis were in the ring alongside Tony Schiavone, Brandon Cutler and Malcolm Nakazawa. Callis took the mic and said he would like to take care of Cage. Cage said Don Callis favours his family over talent. Don Callis replied and said he made him the same as legendary bookers such as Vince McMahon. First time he's been name dropped on AEW, by the way. Surprised it didn't get a bigger pop, to be honest, but Don Callis was not very happy with Christian and said that All Out he would prove that the Impact champion was second best. As the scuffle broke out, Brandon Cutler sprayed Cage in the eyes. Omega, Cutler and Nakazawa then started attacking Christian before they were chased away by the Elite Hunter and Frankie Kazarian. This was alright. Basically just your normal promo a few weeks away from the show. Nothing special, but it was fine. Jon Moxley then revealed his opponent All Out would be Sachio Kanemoto, and he made the bull claim that it would be a public execution. Looking forward to this match. Obviously it's a shame they couldn't get Tanahashi, but this will still do. I'm really excited for this match. But anyway, we then got the Factory versus the Gun Club. Billy Gunn and Nick Camarado started things off quickly. As we headed to the break, Camarado was dominating. Back from the break, Colton Gunn tagged in and was all over QT Marshall. Billy Gunn was back in and forced Camarado to take him out. Austin Gunn then charged at Aaron Solo and took him out. QT looked like he was in pole position and then hit Colton Gunn with a flatliner. QT got distracted by Paul White, who was at ringside, and Colton Gunn rolled him up for the surprise victory. 6 out of 10, just kind of building towards that match with the big show. This was fine, nothing special. Before Dan Lambert said that he told the truth when he was called AEW a dumpster fire. Lambert said the fans were crybabies. He then put over Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page as true role models. Interesting to see where this goes, to be honest. But then in our main event, it was Malachi Black versus Brock Anderson. Anderson immediately went after Black, and Brock took him down, however, rather quickly with a nasty knee strike. Arn Anderson was watching from ringside with a white towel. This gave Brock an opening off a distraction. Malachi Black then hit an exploder suplex and hit his patented roundhouse kick. The Black Mass knocking Brock out for good. As Arn Anderson checks on his stun, Black grabbed a steel chair in front of his fallen son and blocked the kick from Malachi Black. Black ended up low blowing Arn before taking out the roundhouse kick. Lee Johnson then came down and it set up Malachi Black for Lee Johnson. But I'm going to give this 7 out of 10. Really, really loving what they're doing with Malachi Black at the moment. He's just getting over so much right now. Overall this week, Dynamite gets a 6 out of 10 from me. It wasn't an all-time classic Dynamite, I think it's fair to say. I thought that maybe they'd do a bit more with extra eyes from the Punk debut. But you can't have big shows every week. It was fine, steady Dynamite, just building up towards the pay-per-view. It wasn't a disaster by any means, but it wasn't the greatest show I've ever seen. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. But anyway guys, that's it for the video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, remember to follow, comments down below. Follow me on Twitter, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, and subscribe to my channel on screen around, and that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.